Hi, I'm Dr. Poppy Moon. I'm an author, illustrator, and awesome professor of school counseling at the University of West Alabama. Join me and my weenie dog Snoots as we discuss tips and techniques that are valuable to you in the world of school counseling. Hey everybody, welcome, and today what we're going to do is talk about starting off what every intern should do. Now, if you have been an intern for a while now, some of these things will still apply. Well, most of them will still apply to you. So this will help everyone who's an intern, but focusing kind of on those that are just starting and how to fit in and know where your place is and things you can and can't do. So the first thing I say to do when you begin as an intern is to send thank you notes to all the people that helped you get your internship. Now, you don't have to send one to me, you don't have to send one to Dr. Warmington, but send one to the principal of the school that agreed to let you be there. Send one maybe if there was a counseling supervisor at the district level. Anybody that made an effort to get you where you are. Just send them a little note and say thank you and that you appreciate it, because everybody loves to get a little something that shows that they're appreciated, and that's something that you can do right off the bat. Another thing, if you really want to get on the good side of your supervisor, if you think this would be appropriate, is to send them flowers. Snoots. Sorry, I have a weenie dog who's often very annoying, and I may have to go get him if he keeps barking. Send her flowers, not right at the very beginning of school, like on the first day. Think of a day that maybe a Wednesday. Wednesday is always a good day to get stuff because it's in the middle right there. Have some flowers brought to her and just have the card that says, I really appreciate you taking the time to work with me, and I'm looking forward to having a good experience. And that also kind of cements your relationship a little bit, because it showed that you went out of the way to do something nice for them, recognizing that they're going to help you on your journey to be a counselor. Now, you need to get to know the faculty, everybody in the faculty, from the lunchroom ladies to the teachers to the librarian, all the different people that work in the front office. You want to get to know them, and you want them to really think of you as a good person. And I recommend this for everybody to do. Go and get a copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People and read that book. And it is absolutely amazing. It's by Dale Carnegie. It's pretty old. I think it came out maybe in the 50s. I don't know. Not for sure. But everything that's in there is wonderful. And it's all the tricks and techniques on how you can be a better person and be a better friend to people. So I think that you should go and do that, and then use that knowledge to get to know all these people around the school. So they'll have a great first impression of you, and they'll already have positive thoughts about you. Now, the reason that you want to do this is because, one, networking, okay? In the future, you're going to need to get a job as a counselor, and you're always going to need references from people that you have worked with. So if you're showing that you're interested and that you care, this is a great way to network. And two, these people could also be your future colleagues. Let's say that the counselor that's at your school retires and you come and take that position. Already you've got a good relationship with your staff, and you can start working on your school program. Hang on, I'm picking Snoots up because he's being growly. Here he is, looking growly. Okay, next thing that you need to do is make a scrapbook. Make a scrapbook of everything that you do that goes on. Make sure that you can take pictures of the kids. Normally it's not a big deal. They have something signed at the beginning of the year that you can take pictures of them. But everything that you do, have pictures. Did you set up a pep rally at school? Take pictures of the pep rally. Did you set up some kind of lunch program where kids mix it up, mix it up at lunch day where older kids sit with younger kids and, all different things? Take pictures of it and keep this scrapbook. And the scrapbook is not actually for you to say, oh, I'm going to look back on these days and they'll be so wonderful. The scrapbook is a tool that you can use when you go into an interview. So when the when you're interviewing for a position and they say, well, what things have you done? Instead of being the boring person that says, well, I put together a pep rally at my school, and that's boring. You can bust out this scrapbook, right? And you can have all kinds of stuff in it. All the pictures of the pep rally, different things that you did with kids while you were getting ready for the pep rally. Show if you've gotten some awards, if you've got greatest, school counseling intern for Miss McCracken's class, put that in there. If kids write you letters about how wonderful you are and draw pictures of you, put those in the scrapbook. And then when you're in the interview and you pull that out, if I'm interviewing you and I can look at this and I can see, wow, this person has a wide range of things that they have done in their internship and they've obviously been successful with it. You probably want to put your evaluation, your final evaluation from your internship professors in there. Just have a really neat thing, and they look at it and they're like, wow, I really think this person has potential, and I think I'm going to hire them because I can really see the kind of work that they've done. So keep a scrapbook. And I just got this really neat thing. I don't know that it would be something for the scrapbook, but it's called a Zip mobile printer, and you can take a picture or have pictures on your iPhone, and you send it to this tiny printer, and it's not very big, it's just very small, and it prints out images in 2 inches by 3 inches, real small, but the back is sticky. So the neat thing is, if you had something going on, you could take the picture, you could print it out on this tiny printer, and then you could stick it right into your scrapbook, and boom, you're done. That takes time out because you don't have to go to the printer and pull off the ones, and you can just do it right then. Your scrapbook is good to go. Let's see. Okay, next tip is always be on the same page with your supervisor. One of my problems is, especially as an intern, is I'm very excited and I'm very passionate and I want to try all kinds of new things. And sometimes when I was younger, I did step on people's toes because I was so enthusiastic and I didn't always ask if I could do things. I just would be like, hey, can I do this? But I didn't explain all all of the craziness that I wanted to do with it. So check out your supervisor and see what kind of supervisor they are. Are they lax? They may be like, just go for it. Try it all. Let me know what you're going to do. Then, boom, go and try it and see if it works. And I think those supervisors are great, that they're lax, but they're also monitoring what you're doing, and you're having this dialogue with them about, this is what I'm going to do, these are the steps, so they know, so they're not caught by surprise. But then you get to, you just get to do all kinds of things, come up with projects and come up with small groups and different things that you want to do, and I think that's great. So hopes that they're lax, but they want to support you. Don't have someone that's lax and then you go out there and you do stuff and then the principal's upset or teachers are upset because they weren't expecting it or you hadn't planned it correctly. That's going to be a problem. So be sure that you find that middle ground. Now, sometimes you get supervisors that are very, very strict. One of the reasons they may be strict is they really don't know how to be a supervisor. They don't know what's expected of them. So they kind of want to pull you back and, just kind of hold you in the background and let you just keep watching what they're doing and going to meetings and boring stuff. And you're never getting to experience all this. Talk with your supervisor. If you find that you have a supervisor that is that you don't like that much because they're not letting you experience, talk to me, talk to your university supervisor and see what you can do. Sometimes we just need to educate them. Something that we're working towards right now at UWA is creating a whole supervisor training program. So before they even start to work with you guys, they know what's expected of them and what they can and can't do. So if you are getting that frustrated and you're starting to, I hate my supervisor, they never let me do anything, then come to us and we'll see what we can do to work things out. And guys, you need to understand that everything can be worked out. When I have a book called Operation Breaking the Girl Code, and I wrote that with Kathy Wooldridge, who actually was my counseling supervisor when I was in the Tuscaloosa County school system. And she's just amazing. I don't want to go on and on about her. But one of the things that was really great with her was she would say, we can take care of everything. We can take care of everything. Calm down. We'll figure out what to do. It'll be fine. And so I want you guys to know that it can all be worked out. Everything can be worked out. My dog's being annoying. Hold, please. I'll be right back. And now he's gone outside. There. I closed the window, but I can still hear him barking out there. So we'll see. Okay, next one is don't be more awesome than your supervisor. It's really, really easy to be more awesome than your supervisor because you're young and you're vibrant, and when the kids see you in the hall, you're excited to see them. Oh, kids in the hall, yeah. New counseling supervisor. There she is doing fun stuff in our class. Ah, we love her. So sometimes that can cause a problem. Like if the kids are walking down the hall in a line and they see you and you're happy to see them and you're like, oh, hey, come give me a hug, which I would, stuff that I would do. That's how I've learned from it. They would come and give you a hug, and then they would all get out of line, and then you'd start to have chaos in the hall because some kids would want to, push other kids to get closer to you, things like that, and it can be a problem. So don't be more awesome than your supervisor. Always be like, hey, we can pinky wave in the hall, we stay in line, and, I'm learning from your counselor, and she's great, and just be sure that you let the kids know that the counselor is the counselor, that you haven't taken over her position, and that you're learning. Watch out for teachers who are old friends. Sometimes you'll be in a school doing supervision, and it may be this school that you've been working at, and all the teachers are your friends. And you've had this relationship with them where you have worked with them as a teacher, and now you're having to work with them in a different type of setting. Oh, my dog. Hang on, let me shut this other window. There. Okay, that would help. The problem with weenie dogs is a leaf could drop in Asia, and he would be able to hear it, and he would bark at it. So I'm sorry, but I'm just going to keep on going. So teachers that are old friends, now you need to have a different type of relationship with them. And a good thing to do is have a conference, not a conference, but just, a talk with your supervisor about how you should act as the counseling intern. How should I act towards the other teachers? What can I say? What can't I say? What type of, what's appropriate, what's not. And let them explain to you how they do it. And that's something that's important. Then you know where they're coming from. Okay, next thing is get a therapist. Get your own therapist. Everyone says, why would I need to go to a therapist? And I think one of the most important things that you can do as a counselor is to actually be in therapy yourself. You may not have any big issues that you want to talk about, nothing, no problems at home or whatever, but we learn through modeling. So if you go to a therapist, you can watch how they do the therapy session with you. How do they bring it out? How do they use basic counseling skills? And you can watch and learn. And it's also wonderful to have a therapist as a counselor, a school counselor, because you really can't talk with anybody about anything. Even with your principal sometimes. You can't give him the whole story. You can, it's a strange, I'll have to do another one on working with your principal. But sometimes they're not a person that you can go and vent to about certain things, or you may want to be venting about them. My principal doesn't understand. So going to a therapist is a wonderful way to keep from getting burnt out, and it's nice to know that someone's there to listen to you about anything that you want to talk about, and they're not going to judge you, and they're going to support you. So go see a therapist. Yay. Next thing that you can do as a counseling intern is just be quiet and listen. A lot of times, especially for me, obviously, I love to be really, really chatty. But I've found that in therapy, and this is something that you'll work at in gaining skills as a therapist, but I've learned how to listen to like a still small voice inside myself that says, Poppy, be quiet, be calm, and listen. And that voice also tells me types of skills that I need to use, like you should reflect, you should restate this to them, or you should say, oh, is this is the emotion, I'm understanding that this is the emotion that you're having. And it's good when you're quiet, because then you hear things that you wouldn't hear otherwise. And I like that. I think that's important. And learning as a therapist to sit in silence with a client or a student is also very important. sometimes you get nervous if there's silence and you don't know what to say, and you're like, I'm new, I don't know, what am I going to say? Just calm down and just listen and just be in that silence, and it'll resolve itself. All the time, I promise, the silence will come, to a natural head, and things will start working out. But just be quiet, just listen, and keep a journal. Not a journal that anyone's going to see. And I don't advertise for them, but my very favorite books are Moleskine binders. They come in all different kinds of colors. You can get the sketchbook, you can get the ones with lines. They have this super cool little thing in the front, and it says, in case of loss, please return to, and then you have your info, and then you could actually put as a reward. I think that's kind of cool. And they have these neat little, in the back, they have a folder where you can put different things that you like. So I like to keep one of these. For every class that I've ever taken, I have one. So when I ever want to look back, like in my play therapy class, I want to look back on techniques or whatever, I can just go and I can pull my book off the shelf, and I know exactly where it is. And I also like to put things that I think are neat. So if I saw a technique that the school counselor did during a lesson, that I'd write down that technique. Or if I saw, if I got some ideas about something that I want to do when I'm a full-time counselor, I'd write that down in my book. So keep your own journal. And if you're going to write personal stuff in it, I hate that teacher, you keep that maybe in a separate journal that you keep at home. And this one can be your school journal that you can write down all the different things that you're learning about, especially techniques. That's important because techniques will stick with you. Okay, well, that was the last part that I was going to share with you about internship. As always, if you have any questions, you can email me at pmoon@uwa.edu. I always like getting questions, and I normally take those and incorporate them into my supervision. So ask away. I always want to know. And I thank you for putting up with snoots in the presentation. So have a great day and be a great counselor.